Hello guys, DeathDroid88 back here with OpenTTD. Last time we were in OpenTTD, we added on the ore mine here, the iron ore mine. We ran that into this station here, and then we also added on this station here for a factory, so we can now transport iron ore and steel. In this episode, I'm not quite sure what we're going to be doing. I was just going to try and keep reaching that goal of $100 million that we're trying to reach. I was thinking we could maybe do airplanes, but I'm thinking maybe if we add on a couple more things for the trains, sort of max that out and then keep adding on to that, that'd be the best route to go. So let's try and find maybe another resource we can connect up, or even maybe another coal mine or ore mine of some sort. Alright, what do you have? You're good right now. And we could also hook up one of these farms here. We could hook that up, run that to the factory. That'd be another thing we can do. And maybe I should just run a line off this way, try and connect maybe another coal mine or something. That might work. Let's do that. Alright, so we're going to start out. Going to run, there's not really a good place to do it. We'll start right here. And I'm just going to run this a distance of like 200, and we're going to see how it goes. Alright, so we'll put it there. And we found a massive city. Alright, so we're probably going to want to go around that city at some point. But we'll try and get over this way, and we'll try and transport coal that way too. That'll just keep our city busy, or our little power plant busy, that's the word I'm looking for. And we're just going to keep running this stuff here. And we got plenty of money now, so we don't really have to worry about that. I mean, technically we have like $2 million because we can borrow about 55 or 550,000 roughly. And then as I was talking before, you can get rid of these. They cost about 20,000 a square to get rid of, but it's a lot more efficient with the faster trains to do that. And we did find a city here, so I'm debating if we should, I'm thinking we should try and run around it and then maybe run through it for passengers too. But the first thing we can do, we can run like this coal mine here, we can run that way. It's not that long of a transport, but it should be decent enough, although I do want to go further with that. We can, I think if we shoot off this way, if we go like this, bring it here, and then bring that here, and then if we do the same thing right here, and we'll equalize this area out a little bit more. And that'll just help out with the fact of we're running the trains through here. I'm thinking this is going to be our best route to go because otherwise we're going to slow down a lot. And then let's see if we hit the city going this way. I hit another city. Okay, that'll work. Then we'll run through this city here, and we can keep running it probably out to across this water. We'll connect this guy, and that guy up. And I just try and run as many resources in here at once because that seems to work the best. Now when it comes to running through cities, you have two options. You can either tunnel under the city or you can go straight through the city. I'm going to see if we can go straight through the city, which it's looking like we can. And then we can just build all the way across the road here. That doesn't restrict their movement at all. So they're good to go there. Let's equalize this out. There we go. And as you see, you get some of this weird like 3-up train on here, but it's all good. So then we can keep running this way. That city's probably not too happy with us, the fact that we just ran a train line right through the edge of their town, but we'll fix that here in a little while. With these guys, we'd have to delete a couple things, so I'm thinking we're going to run it like this, then like this, and then we'll run it across. And we may use this ferry line at some point. No, we won't be using this ferry line. I was thinking we'd use it to maybe run it that way, but I don't really use boats for much of anything. Alright. that. We'll equalize this out. So if we go to there, and if we just equalize that, then if we just go bring that guy up, bring this guy down, that guy down, and we want that equal. Okay. That looks a little bit better. And what we can do now, instead of having to run the train line a completely different route, we can almost do that. Maybe it's working. It's not wanting to let me go under there. Let's see here now. If I equalize all that out, will I be able to run one on the other side? There we go, that's what it wanted. Sometimes it's just a little picky like that. It wants you to run it a certain way, but it's whatever. And we'll just sort of equalize it out. And we're running into farmland here, so that isn't the most ideal situation, but I don't mind it too much. We could probably also link up a steel mine over here too. And our end goal is to get to here. So if we can just go around and just barely skirt by this, probably be the best way to go about it. And then equalize this stuff out. And then we should almost be across. There we go. We're going to want to run 2 bridges across here. And also as the game goes on, you do get the better bridges that are, I think they're like tubular steel. I haven't quite gotten that far in a long while. This is probably the first time I picked up the game in 5 months when I've been playing this, but it seems to work out pretty well. And then we can bring this here and do a station here. And of course we'll have to run the lines all the way down it, but that's perfectly fine with me. Also, forests is another thing that you can transfer to. Forgot to mention that they have multiple goods in this game. Lumber's one of them, and it also depends on the game mode too. The main ones in this one's going to be coal, lumber, oil, and then like mail and passengers. Alright, so now we can add those guys there. And then I'll figure out the signals for the rest of this line, because that'll make my life a lot easier. At some point we'll get onto this part, but we're not too worried about that right now. We do want to run the train tracks across like this, just to connect everything up. And you see, since I've been building, I mean, I've lost $200,000, but I've probably made $500,000, so that's maybe a net of 3, I think. No, 2. I don't know. Math is not my thing today. And we'll add the entry signal here. We'll add it here, and we'll add it right over there. Then we can determine that signal there, this signal here, get rid of that guy, and now we can run these all the way down. And if you do that, then it changes the type of sign, so I don't always like doing that, but it works sometimes. So now we can run this, and we're going to want to equalize that out here in a second. But I'm just getting the main line running right now, because I'm not too worried about everything else. And we just want to make more money as we go. And it'll cost more, of course, to run another depot and a station in here, but that's whatever. Alright, so now we can do that. If we do it here, we can do that here and here. Right, yeah. There we go. And I sort of do space these outwardly, but that's just how I like to do it. Then if we run this, we'll run through that city. And then we'll get to this point here. Then we'll run it back. And as you can tell, we lost $77,000 last year, and that's with $500,000 in building costs, so we're making money. We're just spending it all right now. And hopefully after this endeavor, we'll have a lot more money than we have now. And we'll get to this point. As you can see, we've already made money and we're spending money on signals now, but track's usually the more expensive part, and then the terraforming is also pretty expensive. And there, and there. Run that across here, and over here. Then we'll run this into here. We'll have to replace that signal here in a second. So if we bulldoze that, we're actually going to do the entry. Nope, that's the one I wanted. That's the one I want to get rid of. Put the entry signal here, and we'll put the exit one right there. That'll allow us to run a train. I'm going to go smooth that one little bit of land out. We'll add a depot in here, and then we'll start connecting stuff up. The one thing I did realize when I was playing the last game, or the last couple of games, is that the mic was a little loud, and I was trying to find ways to figure that out. And I was talking to a buddy of mine on Facebook, and he brought up the whole idea, oh, you know there's a sound control panel for your headset. And I had failed to check that, so that's my bad. So sorry, guys. Now we want to add in that depot. We'll go... because the closest one is here. We'll probably want to run that guy here. And this will just be another one of those quick little videos that I'm trying to do right now. I got somewhere I got to be tonight in a couple hours, so I'm going to try and get this edited, uploaded, and all taken care of before I leave my house tonight. And then we should be good to go, at least on this. As I said, the series, I'm going to try and continue it up to, I believe it was like $100 million or even $1 billion. Or I may even go to like a certain year. I may just fast forward through it, see our finances, and then see what that year is like. And we can just take this series sort of how we go. I'm not quite sure if I'm going to do OpenTTD again within right after this. I got a couple other games I want to play before that, so I'll do that. And then of course any other games that any of the viewers recommend, I'll probably be trying to hit on a couple of those. And yeah, if you guys think these videos are too long or if they're too short, just let me know and I will attune to that. I'm trying to keep them to about 20 minutes right now. And that's just the standard I'm trying to go for. And we can change that to be whatever we want it to be. So it's just sort of whatever you guys want. So we got a train there. And then we'll want to... That's a little funky how that works, but we'll get this guy then next. And this will be a 2x7, yep. And this I'm not really going to adjust the terrain because it'll work out perfectly fine. As you can see, I don't notice these forests sometimes, and I almost hit that one running that line. That's a pretty close call when you do that stuff. But yeah, the reason I don't edit this, so the outgoing line is all the same level all the way through here to the station, and then back you just have to go up. So I'm not going to try and edit the height level of where I'm putting the station at all, because I don't have any issues with tonnage. As we get to diesel trains and stuff, that'll become a lot less of an issue, because they have a lot more horsepower. But other than that, this is sort of how I design them. Like when I'm trying to go up a hill or down a hill, I try and have the mine or like the forest or an oil well on the upper part, and then I try and have the station I'm delivering it to down on the lower part. And as you see, when the trains run through here, it'll show the signal here. It says no, cars can't cross. Now with the super fast trains, I don't recommend doing this because they go like, I think it's around like 200 or 300 kilometers an hour, and they will just plow through anything that's on this crossing. And it doesn't do anything to the train, but you will lose tons of cars doing that. I know this from personal experience because I tried to play one of those online matches with a couple people, and we're in the stage with the monorail trains, and I try to run monorail, and then I try to link it up with some cars, and I lost like over $1 million worth of cars in the first year, just because I was burning through them. Like, oh, you mean these trains plow through these? I didn't know that. But yeah, you learn. There's a bit of a curve to it, but it's not too bad. Alright, and then we can link this mine up here. I'm always going to try and deploy by default 2 trains, and then if we have a station that's filling up with a lot of coal, like that guy, I don't think either of those will fill up with too much coal. Um, I'll run more trains to it as needed, and that's just sort of how I gauge them. So like usually I'll try and have 2 to 3 trains per station, and as we get the faster trains, we can actually eliminate some of these guys, because then we'll have trains running faster, and the faster the train runs, the quicker the load gets taken care of. And when that happens, then we don't really have to have as many trains transporting because they don't have such a long distance to go. Man, we already got 19 trains. That's quite a few trains. And pretty much all but one of those trains is all running somewhere on this main line. And it's actually looking somewhat cool for the way it's set up. But there's that. And then we'll run these guys down here. Keep the money flowing in. And then, do we have a train leaving this station yet? Probably be able to last on just like 2 trains over here, maybe a third. Rating's good. They're not getting too much in coal yet. But that supply is increasing. We'll monitor this guy here, just like we'll keep a monitor on this guy over here. And we'll try and clone the trains that go to those mines there, if needed. But hopefully by the time these trains get down there, yeah, we're going to want one of each train again. We'll clone this guy, and then you're going to Grin Grove. We'll send that way, and then the next guy should be heading back the other way for the other one. Yep. Dunwich, Standingville, okay. So there we go. As you can tell, we've lost a lot of money this year, but that's because we've only made $242,000. What we can do is if we speed this up, we'll see that we're going to make our money back very quickly, because a couple train loads and we've paid for brand new trains essentially. And you can see last year we gained $453,000. We're almost at the mark of $1 million on the transport for the trains alone, which is pretty cool. Usually if you have planes by this time, you have like a transport of 10 million, which is just insane, and it's stupid in my opinion. So I consider planes cheating in some instances. And we're going to see if we have another train coming back for that line yet. Who are you for? Yep, you're going to be okay. Alright. Yeah, as you see, we made our money back. And we should hit 2 million this time around. And it's actually only been about 11 years since we started, I believe, because I believe we started in 1935. So we aren't doing too bad. And this guy's almost got a full load already. Let's see how much profit we can make in this first year, or in this year. As you see, we can go to our income graph, and yeah, that looks lovely. And then if we look at, because that's based off monthly income, if we look at the value graph, you can see where it gets the major dips is usually when we start building on stuff, and then it'll go back up because the other trains are still adding on value, and then it'll go up a little sharper like you see here. Which that's sort of a lesson in economics, but hey, who cares about economics other than economists? Don't really need to worry about economics in a game most times, other than the fact that you have to transport stuff a long distance to get a lot of money. And we can they're doing okay. What else shall we do? Maybe next time we should run like passenger transport or something like that through here. Not quite sure, but we're at 2.5 million now, so we're doing pretty good. I might add on planes or something like that in the next episode. But other than that, thank you guys for watching. As always, comment in the videos about how you think I can improve, different things I can do for the videos, different games you want me to play. And hey, who knows? Maybe I'll play the game that you guys recommend. Um, Also, like the video if you like it, and please subscribe. Alright, I will see you guys in the next video.